Hey everybody, welcome to Push Your Glasses Up. I'm Mikey.
And I'm Reena, and oh my god. I'm so excited!
There's a Star Wars thing.
There's gonna be a Star Wars!
Yeah, so it's Star Wars Celebration. There's been a lot of shit. I don't know how much you necessarily followed, but I have been watching a lot of it.
The one thing. Well, okay, I follow some of it because
that's what we'll mostly talk about that anyway.
We're gonna talk about the one thing. And can I just throw this out here that sometimes, life takes you in weird directions and you find yourself in a place you didn't think you would be. But my boss watched the trailer live with me at my desk, was super pumped for it, and I feel like I'm in the right place. I just want to say that. I was surrounded by people who were like, oh my god, it's out. Oh my god, it's happening now. Oh my god, I have to watch it.
That's awesome. But did what happened to me happen to you in front of other people and just you completely lost all control of your emotions and ability to hold water into your eyes?
Mikey, it's like you don't know me. Of course not. I'm dead inside. It's just a big stone in there.
So what happened to me was not like what happens with when I tear up and cry at a movie. I completely lost control of myself. I was psychotically laughing and sobbing at the same time. I don't know. I've never experienced that before. I got a little worried.
It sounds cathartic, honestly.
It's a good trailer. The coolest thing I've ever seen in not just a Star Wars movie, but pretty much anything is what leads the way up front.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that flip over the tie is one of the coolest things ever.
Right? That's like some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Jedi shit right there.
Yeah. I gifted it immediately after it happened and posted it, and it got a little bit of traction, and out of the woodwork came the anime profile pictures with 0 followers to real quick. I just want to, so today was the Clone Wars panel.
Mm-hmm.
That looks unbelievable. There's a part where Ahsoka and Rex are reunited, and Rex and his troop have all painted their helmets to have the patterns that are on Ahsoka's face, and I welled up for that, and the rest of it looks great, but that moment was just very, very good. And then yesterday was the panel for Respawn's Jedi Fallen Order, which is a fully single-player game after all the shit that happened with Battlefront and Battlefront 2. And the main character is Cameron Monaghan, the kid that plays the Joker on Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks cool, and I'm excited about that. But that's not, the main thing we're talking about. I just wanted to get that out of the way to make sure I, covered it. And now we can go full all into the other thing.
Okay. So what I was going to say is I like how the new trailer opens up like The Force Awakens with heavy breathing and holy shit, I'm in a desert area.
Last Jedi did that, but with rocks.
Did they do it with rocks?
It was rocks because it was her after she found where Luke was. But the first thing that happens is she slams her hand down and she's breathing heavily.
Oh, right. So this is now a trio of heavy breathing. But I felt more akin to the way that it was when we first got introduced to Finn.
Yeah. Color scale, the way that she's framed, it's not her hand coming into frame, she's just in frame, where he also just popped up in the middle of the frame. But I will say, that whole sequence looks more like The Last Jedi in the way that it's framed than it does The Force Awakens. The way that that extra wide shot with her kind of really only about a fifth of the size of the frame height was very much the way that they framed up Kylo Ren facing off against Luke. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that I was very nice, and very down with that.
I imagine that J.J. Abrams is going to do a lot of callbacks to not just Force Awakens, but also Last Jedi, because that's his thing. We're going to see lots of creatures. We're going to see lots of tie-ins. For those, I'll just say fanboys, who are oh yeah, he'll take the helm and undo everything that Rian Johnson did. No, it's not gonna go down like that.
Yeah.
He's just, the baton has been passed back. That's all.
Yeah, and on top of that, I think J.J. Abrams as much as I like the majority of what he does, I think Rian Johnson has a better knowledge of film history and can pull inspiration better. Whereas like JJ was making a Star Wars movie and trying to like make things look like Star Wars. Whereas I think Rian was making a movie with the same inspirations that George Lucas had on the original trilogy. So like, that's why they feel like Star Wars, because he's homaging the things that inspired Star Wars. So I think JJ even picked up stuff from Rian in that way.
Yeah. So well, you know what? There's a thing that I noticed. So right before the trailer debuted, I'm looking at the cast of, Episode 9 sitting on stage, and with the exception of Anthony Daniels, there's none of the original cast up there anymore.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, like... It was just, I had to like think about it for a minute, and I was like, well, where's Mark Hamill? And I was like, oh yeah, yeah, so about that. However, this was before, this thought was before the trailer debuted though, okay? So like...
We also already knew he was in the movie at some point, because he was like, I'm filming Star Wars.
So. Also, to like tie it into like what's going on tonight, what is dead may never die.
Yeah, except for when you finally get to the series finale. In a handful of weeks. Right.
Oh my god, I'm not ready for so many things. But anyway, so we've talked about the opening sequence. Another key moment is that we see Lando with Chewie and the Falcon! Oh my god. Man.
Did you see the meme going around afterwards?
No, I haven't. I hope all his capes are still in there.
Yeah. Well, he's wearing like the same costume that Donald Glover wore. But no, the thing that somebody posted was some dialogue from Solo, where Lando in Solo says, I'll get my ship back, and Han says, over my dead body, and then it just shows the picture of old Lando.
Oh, too soon.
But it's very good. That's a very good work, internet.
Yes. So there, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Okay, I will say I made a big deal about me being dead inside, but I did get choked up when Rey hugged Leia. I can't with Carrie Fisher. I was like, I'm at work. I don't wear waterproof mascara. I was like, because it's too hard to get off. I'm just hold it together. Just fucking buckle down.
So those are same thing happened to me, but those are alternate takes from The Force Awakens, because actually Leia is wearing the same uniform that she's wearing when after Han Solo dies in The Force Awakens, and Rey comes back and they hug then. That's gonna be rough. So
okay, you know what, I have been trying to be express more vulnerability and to actually be like openly emotional about things. So this might be the one that gets me in the movie theater. I might just let it. I just might let it fly. I might put on. I have waterproof mascara. I might put on my waterproof shit and just let the tears flow.
Well, the live stream. Shout out to Carboni. First of all,
hi Anthony, my one cool friend that does cool things. Yeah, well, and Matt Martin, but
Yeah, Matt was in the Disneyland panel, which was awesome. But there was a moment where Oscar Isaac and Naomi Ackie, who just joined the cast for this movie, were on stage, and she was talking about like finding out she's getting the job, and like when she had her first day, she had to take some time because she like needed a moment to herself to just like cry and let it out. And the crowd around the stage, because this was on the Star Wars show stage in the middle of the convention center, the crowd was like, oh, like doing the sorry you cried kind of noise. And she goes, no, it's okay. It's good to cry. And then Oscar Isaac and her started chanting, it's good to cry. And I was like, fuck yeah, man. They're talking to me.
I'm sorry you cried should be our new catchphrase. Along with Chris.
I mean, that might be your catchphrase, because I have no problem with crying.
I know. So that's gonna be my catchphrase for the show. I'm sorry you cried.
Well, if anything, it'll be, I'm sorry I cried, if you're saying it.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's awesome to see. I really like what they're doing with the costumes. Poe looks like Nathan Drake.
We're gonna see a lot more creatures because we got JJ back at the helm, and that's kind of his thing. And they did during the panel debut some more creature designs. I like Dio, man. He's not like that was
Yeah,
adorable.
Dio's good.
Dio, hey guys, if you didn't see, he's the little droid that you see next to BB-8.
Yeah, I think we'll get about the same amount of creatures. It's just that I think JJ's creatures are more of the, like, big weird creatures, where Ryan's creatures were mostly just like,
Porgs!
oh, these are the animals that live here.
What are we
Porgs
gonna do?
and the crystal foxes and stuff like that.
What are we gonna do about this puffin situation? Hold my beer.
Yeah, here's a 13-foot weird slug guy who looks like one of those water weenie toys
Oh my
from when
God,
we were
he
kids in
does!
the 90s.
Oh my God, gross. But you're right. But gross.
Yeah.
Oh, don't stick your finger in it.
It looks like there's gonna be a cool heisty kind of moment with Finn and Poe and C-3PO. Like, it looks like they're stealing some sort of ship or transport thing on whatever the planet they're on.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it's gonna be
some
fun.
low-key thieving.
Yeah, but the costumes. I really dig what they did for Poe's costume. Like, I joke that he looks like Nathan Drake, but he looks like Nathan Drake, and I'm like, get Tom Holland out of the Uncharted movie and put Oscar Isaac into the Uncharted movie, please. And then John Boyega was also like, I finally feel like I have an identity because I have my own costume.
Mm-hmm.
Because Finn has been wearing other people's clothes throughout this whole series so far.
You're so right. He has been wearing other people's clothes.
Yeah. So, I mean, other people's clothes and technically his own uniform, but it's an Imperial uniform where he's not supposed to have any identity, so.
Finn is like the ultimate cosplayer. He is the official
but,
cosplayer.
like, against his will.
Of, of the rebellion.
Oh, yeah, that's something that's nice about the game, by the way, is if I want to, I have a Jedi that I can cosplay without worrying about my hair not looking right because it's a ginger.
There you go. Your time has come. Representation.
Finally.
So there you go.
Yes, for representation matters for me,
Yes.
the white guy.
Your life is so hard. That's what I hear on the internet. There's a lot of struggles happening for
Everything's being taken away from me.
I just don't know how you deal with it. I'm sorry you cried.
There it is. Finally worked it into...
I'm on a roll. Okay, all right. Because I'm on a time crunch because the Game of Thrones premiere is tonight, I think we should get into the title because that just unleashed the can of worms with fan theories. Also, apologies for the crazy-ass barking dog in the background. That's Eva. She came from Puerto Rico. She's had a rough life, and she's very upset about the pizza man. She's very upset.
Unlike us, we would be happy. She is upset. Yeah, so the title, The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker.
I've seen a couple different things. I think the main one that I've latched onto is basically renaming of Force users and sort of naming Force users in general, at least on, if they are for good, and not being like a Jedi or something like that, but like the Rise of Skywalker is the rise of this kind of person who is a Force user, is a Skywalker, not just like the name of a person anymore.
I have a secondary theory, because there is one left. There is one person with Skywalker blood left in this series, and I feel like if you just called it The Redemption of Kylo Ren, it would give too much away. The emancipation of Ben Solo.
It's hard to say, kind of, too, because I don't know if that's... Because, like, Return of the Jedi is obviously a play on, like, Return of the King. And it's, like, okay, it tells you the plot sort of right there. But I don't know how obvious they're trying to make this one. Because it's not in your face as much as something like Return of the Jedi is. Or, like, Revenge of the Sith is. So, it's so hard to, like, pinpoint exactly which route they're going. Which is weird for a third movie for Star Wars.
I feel like we've had so much growth in the Kylo Ren character that I feel like that arc has to complete in one way or another. He's out of parents, like he's now in a position of ultimate power, Like,
Well,
there's
we don't know if he's
know.
out of parents in the movie. We don't know if Leia is actually gone in the movie.
That's true. I wonder how I'm not sure how they're gonna play that.
Because it's like they could just play it as, you know, off screen. She's having a good life still. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's hard to tell because in my head he's gone beyond the redemption point.
Yeah, but there can be redemption in death the same way there was for Vader.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if we'll see it happen or if it's like as he just like continues to go on.
That's probably like one of the most poetic things I think I've ever said on this podcast. There is redemption in death.
Or Thursday lyrics? I don't know.
Right? I wrote that on the side of my Converse.
I sang it.
Yeah, so it's interesting. And then that brings us to the narrators.
Well, yeah, there's the narrator who is Luke, which we kind of touched on. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
knew he was going to be in it somehow.
Mm-hmm. And we know Force ghosts are a thing.
More than likely. But that's why some people
Mm-hmm.
are like, but what does it mean? Does Luke come back? And that's why a lot of the, like, he's going to retcon everything that Rian Johnson did was coming out because people were like, it means Luke comes back and he's alive still. It's like, dude, fucking go away. But I like what they did with that. I like his voiceover also helped bring in the fact that the captions that they had in it harken back to the Phantom Menace trailer when that came out. They were basically identical, except one said the like journey begins and one said journey ends, basically.
Well, the other thing too is, so here's the thing I don't think we've seen in the Star Wars universe, correct me if I'm wrong. We see Force ghosts come back are always, you know, former Jedi on the side of good or people who found redemption in death, right? But on the flip side, if you're using the Force, if you're attached to the Force, why can't Sith do the same thing?
Right, which is where...
Which brings us to the ha 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 ha.
Yeah, Jared Leto's Joker came in. It's not that far off when you put them side to side. But they did say at some point that it's Endor, and that's the Death Star.
Oh my god!
Not the forest moon of Endor, but the planet of Endor.
I know, but they're so close. Do you think they'll come back? Do you think my sweet little bear friends will come back?
I have a feeling that
they have a cameo. Come on, JJ, give me a cameo. What's Wicket doing these days? Is he leading the tribe?
That's what I was going to say. Is Warwick Davis is in every movie since Return of the Jedi. So it's possible, but when they're standing on the shoreline, they're looking.
I'm so preliminarily excited.
They're looking at the second Death Star, and so the question is it going to be a Force ghost? Is it going to be Rey's trial, the same way that Luke had his trial in the tree? Mm-hmm. So there's multiple ways that this could go with the Emperor coming back. So I'm really intrigued to see which way they go.
Will her trial involve both Luke and Emperor Palpatine because she has the unique ability to use both sides of the Force? Or she's not called in any direction. You
like
know
the way
I mean?
that dog parents will be like, no, come to me. No, come to me. No, come to me.
Who loves you the most? Yeah, but you know what I mean? But on a play on, like, the very classic, you know, angel and devil on your shoulder. Because who else would be, you know, in terms of mastery of the Force, I guess Palpatine would be comparable to Luke by the time Luke, you know, crosses the Rainbow Bridge, as dog parents say.
That's just a Mario Kart level. But yeah, you
know what I mean? Like, because it wouldn't be Vader, because Vader would be on, like, the same level.
Well,
that's
so
the other thing. Have, like,
that's the other thing. Is in the last couple years, Hayden Christensen has been like, yeah, I want to be in one of these. So it's like there's so much fucking shit that could happen in this that we don't know about. It's very weird to think about the fact that Hayden Christensen could come back as Anakin Skywalker as a Force ghost next to Luke. That's weird.
Right? Oh my god, what if they have, like, a panel? What if there is, like, a Jedi Council of Force ghosts?
Oh, man. Mace Windu coming back.
Right? You could bring them all fucking back. If you have the Force ghost loophole, you can bring back anybody who ever used the Force.
You just gotta mix them with frog DNA, and they all come back.
It's exactly how, you know what, with great power comes great responsibility. Let's throw all kinds of franchises into this.
Spider-Man versus a dinosaur versus a Jedi.
Oh my god, this sounds like the ultimate fanfic right now. You mentioned Tom Holland
Load up
earlier.
old Tumblr.
Classic Tumblr. You did what with the lightsaber?
No. There's too much risk of accidents with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so here's my theory. I think there's going to be a big arc surrounding Kylo Ren because we see so little of him in the trailer, and all we see of him is what we know of him already, right? So he's cutting someone down with his wonky-ass lightsaber. Mm-hmm. He's reforging. He's doing a little soldering. He's doing a little reforging, a little welding of his helmet, putting that shit back together.
He's got some new hobbies.
Like, he's doing some arts and crafts, he's full.
He's joined an iTech class.
Right? So I feel like what we see is what we just know of him, and I think that is intentional that we don't see anything beyond that. And he's only there for like a blip.
Yeah, because we don't even know if he's the one that's flying that TIE fighter either.
Right? Because it could be, I don't know, Kin. Is Palpatine a Force ghost, or does he fucking come back? Because wasn't that the rumor about Darth Sidious?
Well, so...
he could cheat death?
Have you heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Yeah, the thing with the Emperor is there has already been a return that he had, and it's in Battlefront 2's campaign, which is a canon story. He basically has like a personality inside of a droid. It's very brief.
Oh, please say it's not Dio.
No.
Is it
It's
Dio?
a humanoid. It's a humanoid like
Dio?
security droid that like has an upload sort of like in his. It's basically like, hi, if you're watching this video, I've died. One of those. Yeah. So I'm very curious what's gonna happen. I want to say it's gonna be basically like the Force trial thing, but to see a Sith come back as a Force ghost is gonna be so rad. And like, can you imagine if the evil version of a Force ghost is glowing more red than like blue and kind of like mirroring the sabers? It would be cool. It would look cool.
Wait, does that mean Darth Maul can come back too?
I mean, Darth Maul has come back a lot already.
I know. I'm just saying he wasn't Solo for like a hot second. But if we're just bringing back everyone,
I mean, he's in Solo, and he's in the most important parts of Clone Wars, and he's also on Rebels, and he's coming back for the return of Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. Speaking of that real quick, they actually said that this time with Darth Maul in Clone Wars, instead of just hand animating his movements during fight scenes, they had Ray Park come in and do mocap, and that's fucking cool.
Oh, nice.
Because there's something to his movements that were like, it's Ray Park doing these movements. Like, they make him look cool when they animate him, but like there's no comparison between the two things.
No. Ray Park is one of a kind when it comes to like fight sequences. What was I gonna say? Oh, I think that Luke's narration is pretty key in terms of not just this particular story, but in terms of the entire universe, where everything has built up to this. It is now your story to carry, and I think that's sort of like. They're passing the torch.
I think that's like, a big part of the like Last Jedi tie-in stuff and the broom kid at the end. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of that ties in. Yeah,
because I mean, realistically, people age, people pass away. Like, you know, the original cast was only going to be if this story is going to live on for so much longer than, you know, anyone who was in the original movie. So it makes
Kathleen Kennedy said they have eventually. 10 years planned already, so
it just, there's no stopping it. It's just going to continue and grow. It's an entire universe. So people need to like kind of get over that things do need to change. It's like needs to go on. You need to have new people. New people come along. I'm sure there at some point there'll be a new like similar to a new male Jedi Force user that y'all can latch onto.
The new game.
You know, give it a minute.
The new game is right there. So
See? And he's a ginge.
Yeah. Just like me.
Yeah.
This has been some weekend.
Right?
That game comes out November 12th. So that's right after my birthday. Disney Plus comes out that same week, I believe. Mm-hmm. Just like nuts to everybody else, you're probably not going to be able to contact me that week. Or you can reach out to me, I just may not return.
The number you have reached is not in service until the following year. Busy right now.
Yeah, if I go from like early November through January. I don't just call. Do an actual physical check-in at that point.
Yeah, I have a wellness check.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Star Wars and Disney material that has come out recently, so
They just find me. It's one of those situations where like they can't open my door. I'm just buried beneath like Star Wars memorabilia.
I'm still trying to figure out a way. I think because I don't have tickets to Thursday for Comic-Con, I think I want to head up to Disneyland to go to Star Wars Land.
I wish you luck.
Ambitious.
Yeah.
Ambitious, I know. But it's Comic-Con. It's a Thursday. So I'm hoping that makes it, people work.
Yeah.
A little bit better than, say, like a weekend or something like that.
As long as they're past the whole like reservation thing, because the only people that can go opening day I know for sure are the people who have reservations at the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do like a standby thing for people, but that is not going to go well for those people, guaranteed. So we'll see how long like the way that they let people in goes, I guess. But that's also why I booked my trip to Florida for December, because I'm like,
yes,
I'm good to wait
Florida
as long as
is warm
possible.
in December.
Yeah, that would be bad in the summertime to go to Orlando. But
is it a separate ticket for Galaxy's Edge?
I think for opening day, yes. I don't know what they're it's in regular Disneyland, but I don't know what they're doing for entry after the fact. But like, in Disney World, it's in Hollywood Studios.
Wait, reservations are required between May 31st and June 23rd.
Yeah, so unless they extend it, you should be fine.
Yep, I'll keep an eye on it, but that's my goal.
This is going to be an extremely intense final month and a half for me with the game. Disney Plus coming out with The Mandalorian like the day of it launching. Then there is Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge in December, and then the movie comes out that same month. I'm gonna be a dead person.
I suggest a lot of caffeine, maybe some light stretching. Make sure to drink plenty of water.
At some points I'll be in Orlando, so I'll just look up and open my mouth at that point.
Let the rain fall down.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get to your fantasy show. That is not the space fantasy thing.
No, it is not. It is not space fantasy. It's medieval fantasy. I gotta know how it ends, man.
I'll let you get to that, and then you can talk about it a little bit next week when we come back for episode 100.
Wait.
It's 2 weeks. I'm so lost on what fucking week it is at this point.
Right? Okay. Yeah, this is like a bonus. Our 100th episode, guys, is going to be all things Endgame. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to tell you in advance, I'm sorry you cried.
Bite down on a leather strap the way that Thanos is going to have to when Ant-Man jumps out of his butt.
Oh, I just feel bad for anybody that has that level of butt trouble. Anyway, so that will be our 100th episode. Please stand by, get ready for that. It's gonna be a long one, and it's gonna be a lot, and yeah. Alright guys, I gotta go, Mikey, I gotta go, it's time for me.
Go watch your sword
to see
stuff.
Who sits upon the throne.
Yeah, go watch your sword stuff, and we'll be back with the next episode. See you later, guys.
Bye.